Hi everyone. So yeah, I don't have my sunglasses on. I think that's because I was going to do this in the living room, making eye contact more so you can see my eyes. But I decided, oh, I'd rather do this outside. Nice day, about 53 degrees right now. And I just wanted to add on to my countdown to Wonderland, my something to say about what I've learned so far, all the weight I've lost, which I'm recording this on Sunday, and I probably won't do my other video until Monday or so, maybe Tuesday, about the other part of this video. But anyway, the thing is, I want to talk about something that I think is, if somebody was to ask me, what one thing have you done different, what advice would you give me to somebody who, maybe has tried before and, the weight's come back, whether you have not that much to lose or quite a bit to lose. And my one piece of advice would be this. You have to, let me use the right terms, right grammar here. You have to think like a thin person. And that is the biggest piece of advice I can give you. It's more than what macros do I have. Well, it depends on you. It's more than, well, but just tell me what one food works the best for you, or what diet works the best, or what, it's not as much about that as it is about what you're thinking. And I'll tell you why. And I know mindset, sometimes people get into this, sometimes they don't, but let me tell you, if you think like a thin person, are you going to starve yourself all day, and then you think you're going to have the best willpower in the world, and then you end up binging? Well, I'm saying that because I used to do that from time to time. I would, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing that. A thin person, a healthy thin person, should I say, is going to take care of their body. They're not going to let themselves get so hungry and realizing they're going to end up binging. By the way, other idea is that you're going to not have certain things in the house that you can binge on Whole Foods, right? But the idea here is you're not going to say, oh, I'm going to do this very strict thing and that I hate, and somehow I'm going to be magically stay slim when I'm, when I get down there. You're going to treat your body right. You're going to nourish it properly. Eat a balanced diet. Now, what balance means to you may be different from what balance means to me. That's fine. We're all individuals. You figure out what works best for you. Find something that's enjoyable to do. And yeah, you have to eat a little bit less. That's true. But again, as I've said before, eat more clean, whole foods. You can eat a little bit more, a couple hundred calories more, from what I can see. And so, and that's just I don't eat as much these days as I would eat when I would go eventually reverse calorie and get into maintenance that way. But you're going to treat your body right. You're going to eat when you're hungry. You're not going to eat out of habit just because you need to. And you're going to stop. And when you're having a cheat meal, you're going to eat lighter the rest of the day, and or before, or whatever you're going to do. And you're going to eat to satiety, not stuffed. And that's what thin, healthy people do. They go get their exercise. They walk. They don't kill themselves. They know to be smart. I'm sorry. Me and my coughs lately. They don't kill themselves. They learn how to work smarter, not harder. You'll want to get your strength training in. You'll know not to overdo it, because when you're losing weight, because it'll make you more hungry, you'll dedicate yourself to finding the time to get those walks in, because walking is not really as exercise. It doesn't make you hungry if you exercise, whereas other types of exercise can definitely make you hungry sometimes, and you can overdo it. So it's treating your body right, not putting it under a lot of stress, not finding the most stressful way of losing weight and expecting that to work forever, especially if you have a lot to lose. And so that's the big thing. Think big, because it will change your actions. It's not, I'll change my actions, therefore my thoughts will change. It's change your thoughts, your actions will follow. And so that's about all I have to say. It's a great day. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have a chance to get out on a beautiful day, I encourage you to do so. Have a great day. By the way, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Hey, how's it going? So yeah, I am down to 209.7. So I have 10 pounds to go to Wonderland. And I'm very happy about that. I will have my tip. Probably I'll do it at first, but we'll see how that goes. But stay tuned for that if I didn't do that first. And so my results of my experiment with the low carb and higher potassium versus phosphorus. Okay, so the first day was a whole lot higher phosphorus, more than 2 times more than calcium percentage wise, RDA percentage wise. And I lost 0.4 pounds after a day when it was a higher calorie, I'm not super high calorie day, but a higher, more normal day. Didn't have starch, lots of salt, anything like that, so it shouldn't have bothered. It should have been a day when I lost weight really well. But anyway, so the next day I had a more in check calcium to phosphorus. And by the way, each day I ate the same thing pretty much, except for having more of a dairy-based protein, more of that involved on the higher calcium days. Other than that, I ate the same ribs for dinner. I ate the same salad with blue cheese dressing, which was a Greek yogurt-based dressing. I had my same coffee with the 1 teaspoon of honey and the half cup of milk and the blueberries. So it was very, very similar every day, except for switching around protein to something more dairy-like. And I did about the same amount of cardio, same type of cardio, walking, everything like that. I did have one day when I did do my workout, my pumping iron, and that does not burn that many calories compared to walking or cycling or anything like that. So yeah, I kept it as similar as possible. Calories were similar, everything. So the next day, calcium was more in check with the phosphorus, and that was Monday, and I lost 0.9 pounds. And then yesterday, it was, the phosphorus was a little higher, but it was just slightly more than, slightly out of what my favorite range is, of acceptability, a little higher than that, but not as high as on, on Sunday. So, I lost 0.5 pounds. Now, yeah, obviously there's going to be some fluctuation in water and whatnot, but it looks like, if I'm going to do anything high protein, or low carb, should I say, I need to have more dairy to make that work out. Of course, it's not going to be super low carb because with dairy, you're going to get some lactose, so you're going to get some carbs from that. But anyway, I kept the carbs very similar every day. The calories were same, all of that kind of thing. I think there was a little more fat some days than others, but it was pretty similar. And so, it's not a total great scientific experiment, but it kind of gives a general idea that, yeah, I do better when I don't have super high phosphorus compared to calcium. And so that is my experiment. And yeah, I'm excited. I did lose some weight. I can lose even more in 3 days on a high carb if I'm doing a super strict on similar amount of calories most of the time. But sometimes, if I switch it up for a few days, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, back to my high carb, low fat diet, moderate protein, and I had myself some sweet potato hash this morning with some coconut oil, sweet potato, onion, and some Anaheim pepper, and then I put some seasonings. I put some coriander and some chili pepper, chili powder, and some cumin in it, and some garlic and salt, and had that with a coffee with honey, more honey, a tablespoon of honey, and I am feeling great and getting my walk and burning off some of those carbohydrates, or should I say processing them, so they do not all have to have such an insulin response. And not that a little bit of insulin is perfectly fine, but keep down a roar, quiet roar, right? So that's why I try to walk after meals. So anyway, that's me. That's what the results of my experiment, which was just a tiny little experiment. Yeah, maybe try it out if you think you might be having an issue. But I'm just not telling you what to do, just giving you what happened with me. You all have a great day. Bye-bye.